It's recording now, mate. On that, yeah, there you go.
Here we go. Right.
Good, mate.
We're both masters of technology now.
That's it. Good, mate. Beautiful.
Right. So I'll introduce everybody because not everybody knows Mark Kluwer, but plenty of people that listen to this are going to be super happy because you've been recommended to me by a number of guests and a number of fans of the show. We always start off with asking what you did on the weekend, and you've not just had a big weekend, but it's been a big week. You're undergoing a major project. What have you been up to, mate?
What have I been up to? Well, I've been up to a few things, Ryan. I'm at the moment we've moved up the country. My wife and one of my eldest daughters. One of my youngest daughter. We've moved up to the country Victoria. Up in Hepburn, and I've been building on our property. A total tree change, mate. Pretty exciting, and I'm in foreign ground at the moment, mate, because I haven't. This is all new to me. I'm originally a builder. I had a building company with my brother and plumbing company, but I've kind of left that to follow my passion, mate, which is, strength, health and happiness, mate. The rest is bullshit. So I'm actually trying to practice what I preach, mate.
Fantastic. We all need plumbers though, but strength, health.
Well, I'll tell you something, mate. The first thing I learned when I was an apprentice, my boss said to me the first day, mate, he said, just remember, shit flows downhill and payday's Thursday.
Brilliant. So you touched a little bit on who Mark Kluwer is, but who's Mark Kluwer right now today? Where are you at in your journey in life, man?
Where am I at?
Yeah, and who
I don't know, mate.
You don't know?
I don't know what's going on, son. This is the thing, Ryan. I don't know, mate. I'm just following the heart, mate. That's what I'm following, and it's given my family a bit of grief because there's an instability. Caused quite a lot of instability, and I'm just so grateful that they've actually behind me and they haven't left me, mate. so when I met Wim in 2016 when he came to Australia, the first thing he said to the group of us on the first night of the retreat, he said, "Strength, health, and happiness. The rest is bullshit," and that really struck me here in the heart. And I thought, well, that's it, and so then since then I've that's what I believe in, and I think that society's feeding us the bullshit, saying what does success mean, mate? And look, I was stuck in that hamster wheel, I suppose, mate. For years, being concerned what other people think, but this kind of once. I spent that 5 days. That was unique for me because I'd never ever been on any type of retreat. So it was really unique for me, and it really opened up my eyes to what else is out there. And so through that, this has been percolating. I remember my wife, when I came home from that retreat after 5 days, my wife rang up my brother, who was my business partner at the time, and she said, "Paul, Mark's changed. Something's happened." And my brother said, "Look, he'll be right in a month. He'll be back to normal." Well, I'm not normal anyway, mate, so I don't know what normal is for me. So the thing is, that's what happened, mate, and it's been like that kind of ever since. To the point where I left the family business last year or earlier this year, late last year. Left the business, and and so just embarking on what makes me happy, mate.
Fantastic. I love it.
And thanks, mate.
The person you said there is Wim Hof, and he's super enchanting individual, and his method is, you look at how he applies it, and you just think, wow, how does he do that? How did you end up at the retreat? Obviously, it was 5 days that has changed your life, but how did you get, go from that step of being a little bit curious about this. Whereabouts is he from? Holland, this crazy Dutch.
Yeah, yep.
Yeah, and so how did you go from being intrigued to being on a retreat with the man?
Well, it was quite interesting actually, because about 2 weeks beforehand, a mate of mine said to me, good mate of mine, said to me, "You've got to check out this crazy Dutch man.
Mm.
You know, you got to check him out. He's doing all this stuff, in all this, cold, freezing temperatures. He's swimming under ice, and he's running the Arctic Circle with nothing but, a pair of shorts on it and some sandals, man." So I watched it. So I thought, bugger it, I'll watch it. So I watched it, and I was just totally intrigued because my heritage is Dutch. My father's Dutch, and he reminds me of one of my uncles. And Wim and I gelled like there was this connection that we had when I first met him, and it was and I just really like the first breathing session, mate. Like I hadn't done any of this type of meditation, and it was just it's hard to explain. He enabled you to feel relaxed enough to just let go, mate. Like the first thing he said, I don't know, I've gone off the tangent, mate, but the first thing he said was fully in, let it go. And he kept saying that. And that's what it's about, mate. Just letting go, mate. And that letting go, and it just kept, I just let go. I just thought, I'll just give it a go. And the rest is history, mate. Like it's just, it's been powerful. And that's what I try to tell people now, or let we know when we take our workshops, it's just trust it's going to be okay. Just don't come from here. We're that's society telling us we've got to come from here. We go from here. Just on this time that we're here together, let's go from here. That's all I ask everyone. Just go from here, put this out, and we connect, mate.
And of course, anybody that's listening is you're saying go from the heart and not from your head. Get out of your head a little bit.
Get out of your head, mate. And so that's what's really been the opening thing for me, is that whole thing. Listen to what your heart says. Listen here.
Yeah.
Have coherence. As Guy Lawrence will say, got to have coherence.
Nice. And of course, Guy's been one of our guests, and he's out there promoting to let it in.
Yep.
What are you letting into this world?
What am I letting in? Letting in the heart, mate. I'm opening the heart up for everyone. If you can lead by example and help people that feel, well, look, it's not that hard. You just let go and let it in, mate.
Nice.
Just let it in. Just don't worry what people think. That's pretty important. And if you want to do something, do it. Just do it. I keep saying it. Don't worry what anyone. But that's and be a child, mate. Yeah. Be a child. Have fun. And love everyone, mate, for what they are.
Brilliant. So often when somebody
mate, sorry, mate, I go off on a bit of a tangent a bit, mate. So if I don't answer the question, just say, mate, you haven't answered the question. But I can tell you, I'm not a politician, mate, okay?
Brilliant. So what I was going to ask there is, often, before you've let your heart, flourish, and before you've gone and followed your passion, often you're suppressing something and you're dealing with some pain. And like you said, you breathe in and then you let it out. What was some of the pains that were holding you back, or keeping you in the cycle, or keeping you in your head?
What are the pains? Well, look, I found it just with the breathing that like the first session of the breathing session we did have on the day one, I did feel something quite profound, like just some emotions that were probably pushed right down, inside of me. Like, men in society, aren't supposed to show their emotions. It's a sign of weakness, and so I had that kind of so that probably over the years, you know, we've had probably like a lot of people, we had some family issues, and you just I just highlighted all that stuff. I just went within and with that, and just really it's hard to. I'm just trying to explain it. It's hard to articulate, mate. But I just really went deep within and the breathing allowed that, just a continual breathing, just to keep breathing through it, and I just let it go, mate. And look, I remember I had this emotion, and the tears were flowing, and I've never had this before, mate. And I've never had it before, and like, you know, one of the things, because at that time my youngest daughter was like 19, and I remember my father, when he came to Australia, was 19, and I saw him on the boat. He went on. He came over on a little steamboat, mate. Well, it was a boat. It's not a ship. It was a bloody boat. And I just looked at how he was, and the courage that took him to come out here at 19 from Holland and just start a new life. When I saw how young my daughter was at the same age, and those kind of things, and it just evoked all this emotion, and you know, and then we had some family stuff that went on early on, and I was kind of reliving these things, mate, from this breathing, and I just felt I was going deeper and deeper into this kind of emotional state, mate. And it's hard, because that's never happened to me ever. I'm 53, and as I said, you know, I had a construction company with my brother, and then early on, when we were apprentice plumber on a big building site, Rialto in Melbourne in the 80s, 80 plumbers on site, and there was no like showing you emotions. They want to initiate you on the site, mate, like all this kind of stuff. Yeah. You know, so, you know, I think it's tough. I think you show your emotions, mate. You show courage and you show your emotions, because I tell you, the masculinity, that's what masculinity is, mate. And that's what I thought. And when I saw Wim, when I met him that first night, and what he allowed us to do, that's true masculinity, mate.
Fantastic.
You know, it's not boy masculinity. This is the real deal, and this is what it's about. Because true masculinity allows people to flourish in whatever they want to do, mate, or whoever they want to be, right? That's what it's about. Have I asked your question there? Not really.
No, you have. You said that you released some pain that you didn't really know you had, or
yeah, that's what happens. Yeah, and that's what I think happens, Ryan. That's exactly, mate. There's a pain that you release, and you realise, and then you think of one thing, and then you go on to another thing, and it just kind of, it's like a domino effect, Ryan. Have you been to have you had any long breathing sessions? You have to come and do a breathing session, mate.
Mate, I've been highly recommended.
You've been there?
I've been highly recommended from a few people. I've watched plenty of Wim. I've done plenty of cold showers, and
yeah, beautiful.
Do plenty of guided meditations and things, and you're right.
Yeah, good.
All of a sudden, these things pop out of nowhere, and you follow them through, and then you'll sort of come to and go, oh, how where did that all come from? And
yes, mate. Yes.
And it's pretty amazing, and you feel great afterwards, because you've, like you say, you've breathed it in and let it out. It's epic.
Oh, and I, like, that's when I met Guy. Actually, that's how I met Guy on that retreat. You know. And connected, and when you get to that stage with people, they truly know who you are. That's when you connect with people. And I've got so many great friendships from them, from that 2 years ago, that, you know, I was never on Instagram or Facebook or anything. Well, actually, I was on Facebook. I was on Instagram only until, I know, whenever that was, late last year. But I just thought I needed to keep contact with these people that I met, and so I thought, oh well, I'll have to succumb. I have to go on Facebook so I could communicate with them and talk with them, because it was such a beautiful 5 days that the people I met, and it was just and that's what I try to do with my when I take our workshops, present. We talk about the science, and there's plenty of science, with the Wim Hof method, but my experience on what I felt, and I try to deliver it, and that's what's really important for me,
Absolutely, mate.
And to give,
I think that's what translates so well from you, is that you're such a genuine bloke, and the thing that makes people excited around you is that it was such a significant flip for you, and it's so made such an empowering difference to your life, and you're enthusiastic and excited, and it resonates through to I'm only watching, and everybody that I've talked to that has met you, they're just they love it.
Oh, that's good.
One thing,
great, thank you,
that you said was people that came out to the likes of Australia and New Zealand, like the heritage that I know about was my on my mum's side, her great grandfather coming out from Ireland. There was a family of kids, and they all rocked up to Dunedin, which is in the South Island, New Zealand. No parents, no parents or anything. You can speak about the courage, and then I'm still young, and I've got a family of my own now, and I still feel like a child. And you say 19 years old, they've come out to start this new life. What do you think men are missing these days, in that we're so sheltered, we're so comfortable? And what do you think it is about making yourself uncomfortable in a bath of ice that really just can be so significant and flick a switch?
Oh, it's beautiful because the ice bath, mate. Really, the ice bath is a yardstick. Yeah. And if you can, say sit in an ice bath for anywhere between 2 and 5 minutes. That's what we like to have first timers. You then have that's your comfort zone. You've actually now increased your comfort zone, and you can step outside and go further. And then you can and that's what I tell a lot of the people is that after they've been in an ice bath, and they go through they warm up, they just feel so happy with themselves, and so I want them to bring this feeling and keep this feeling, so that if they have a hard day at work, at uni, at school, whatever, mate, you've been in an ice bath, it's been 0 degrees, we're far stronger, or we're magical, mate. What's inside us, again, out of here and into here, because the first thing, as you know, Ryan, when you get in an ice bath, your head's telling you to jump out, mate, but your body can take this, mate. There's no problem. And so that's the really important thing with the ice bath, is it's a comparison to, okay, how hard has that day really been, or that person that's annoying me, is it really that bad? No, not really, because I've just stayed in an ice bath for 2 to 5 minutes, and I reckon it's not a problem. So that's what's really important for me, is to get across to that point for people. That's why I love it, mate. Absolutely. And every time, and we've got to be comfortable about being uncomfortable, mate. That's what life is, and we're too busy not taking those. We want to be in the comfort zone all the time, mate. Let's increase our comfort zone. Just push it a little bit, mate. Just push it out a little bit. Test it, mate.
It's where the magic happens, mate. You managed to get on television. 2 years ago, would you ever think you'd be on TV, getting a TV?
Oh, that was good.
TV presenter to jump in an ice bath.
I know, it's unreal. It was good. It just snowballs. Pardon the pun. But no, that's right. Like, no, I wouldn't have thought that. But she was really Angie Hilton there. She really gave it a crack. Because she had probably 4 goes on that day, and she stayed in, so it was great to see her. And she was a winner, mate. She went through it like she's a winner. Like, this is the thing. And the beauty with the ice bath is you don't have to be a high-end athlete. This is for people. I'm going to say normal people that want to go to the gym. They but they can find something that they can compete with people, and it doesn't discriminate, mate. It doesn't discriminate. And a lot of times you might have, the athletes struggle because they might be full of inflammation. They have a problem with it, but then you get, like, women are the best, mate. They just sit in there. The best thing is when we'd have ice baths at home, and you'd have a couple, might have half a dozen people, and I always let, the first ones jump in first that haven't been in, get through the anxiety. And usually the girls, I'll say, look, for the women, you jump in first, and when the young fellas, jump in later or after, they seem quite relaxed because they think, well, the girl's good at it or the woman's great at it. I'll do it, no problem. Well, guess what, mate? It doesn't happen. And then they can really battle through it. So they're the ones I really have to talk through and get them to breathe, right? Because they have trouble with getting into that zone. There you go.
That's right. A guy will try and muscle through something, but women have a special.
Women are awesome, mate.
Yeah, women have a special level of focus, and I was,
they do.
Becomes more common these days. But I was super lucky to witness the birth of my daughter, and just the way that the female body can focus and work through, and that was a big thing for that was breathing. They can take on some pain, that's for sure. Not that an ice bath is painful, but all the same, it's about that focus to deal with something and breathe through it, which is pretty amazing, mate. I'd like to read something to you from Wim Hof. This is what I posted today. And you've touched on it a little bit already, and he sort of says, I think it must be from his book, challenges bring out the true nature within me. It alerts my body and mind, altering my state of being. It makes me feel so alive. And you can imagine Wim saying, it makes me feel so alive. There's exclamation mark with that one. It's like I always say, we can do more than we think. At those moments when I encounter a challenge, I become extremely aware of the deeper layers of my soul. And what does that sort of bring up emotionally and feeling wise for you?
Oh, look, it does. It's so empowering. Yeah. Just to you got me there, mate. It does make you alive. Like, it makes you feel so good when you get out of the ice. Like, you jump it, you get out of the ice bath, and look, there's days when like I don't feel like going in, and you think, oh, do I have to get in there? But you got to just keep pushing through it. And each time you learn something about yourself about the ice bath, and that's what I love about it. There's always something it's always a different experience. It's always a different experience, and this is what's so beautiful about it. We go to the gym, like you do a leg workout or upper body workout or whatever. It's okay, it might have a better training session than the other day, but they're not totally a different scenario as like in an ice bath. You might jump in and there's no problem, and then the next day or the day after, you struggle with it because your mind, if you're not right, you're not going deep within. You got to go deep within, and just like it's so meditative, mate. You got to go deep within and just be at peace because it's temporary, mate. It's temporary, and just go back within yourself, But it does like going back to that first. That was the deepest session. Obviously, that 5 days I went back, mate. And because Julie, my wife, asked me, what was it really like? And it's hard to explain. It was like an onion, and you just peel layers off, mate. You know what I mean? All these layers came off, and I felt so tired after 5 days, but I felt great though. It was just this huge, yeah, not a rebirthing, but like I was like this little tiny onion, mate. You know, I went in as a big fat onion, and I had all these layers taken off, and so it was so great, you know. So, yeah, but it's like, yeah. Every time I love it, mate.
Strip back to the core, eh? Mate, you're wearing a Chilseekers t-shirt.
Yes, mate.
How did that come about? I mean, I saw plenty of images of you guys running ice baths at Fifth Element Wellness. What gave you and Zane the kick to take it on tour?
Well, it's funny, you know. Zane and I were having a coffee. We were having a what was it? Like a nootropic coffee, mate.
Yeah.
We had all the good gear in it, and we're in Fitzroy, and it was probably, we had a month, and I thought, well, said to Zane, let's actually, I might have even been speaking to Guy. I had a conversation with Guy Lawrence as well, and we're looking at doing something, because Wim was last April. Wim was here.
Yeah.
As we know, he came to Australia again, and we thought, well, it just came up, and we said, how about we tour around the States in a caravan and have our faces painted on the caravan, and just use, you know, and while Wim was here, and get some leverage, and let's just go for it, mate.
Yeah.
Because and I was concerned because they're going to Melbourne. Wim goes to Melbourne, Sydney, and Gold Coast, and I thought, let's go to Adelaide. Let's go to areas where he can't get to, you know. Mm-hmm. And so that's what we try to take it to. Like we went up to Nambour to the farm gym, and had a beautiful session up there with Luke and Acacia. Mm-hmm. And then we shot across the outback there, you know, went right through and finished up at Alice Springs. And so it was just fun. And we thought, when I just make a decision, I like to move, mate. You've got to just move and do it, mate. Because you can keep talking about it, and so it never happens. So it was 4 weeks. Within 4 weeks, we were on tour, mate. We just went for it.
Lovely.
That was it.
And what was the response, and then what did you and Zane sort of get out of it? Was it proof of concept, or what did you find? Oh yeah, we had it was good. But look, what's so hard, mate? No matter what you do, I tell you, it's still, because people are still concerned about their comfort zone issues. It's still hard to convince them to get an ice bath, even if they come. Look. As we know, the Wim Hof method consists of 3 main pillars: cold therapy, breathing, mindset, and focus. All 3 of them are good by themselves, right? But the Wim Hof method, is what we were teaching on the tour, is the 3 of them combined, right? Now, the thing is, I think that, you know, people, they focus on probably the ice bath at the end, because we did a lot of promotion for it. We still had good numbers, but it's still, you know, we probably would have got more, because we had such a short lead up time. If we probably build it up a bit further, you know, a bit more, to build some more momentum. But it's just still a hard thing. But people, it's hard work to get people to an ice bath, mate. You know what I mean? It's just to let themselves be in the moment there, and just let go, and don't worry about what the outcome is. It is what it is, and that's it. And so, you know, we had a good show up in Geelong, and in Adelaide was great. Adelaide was our first tour. They were great. Chris Massey he was really helpful there at Chief PT there. He helped us, and we had a good start, and then we came back to Geelong and Melbourne. Melbourne was good, and then, but it's just getting that build up, and you know, like even Wim, like at the last event, Wim had one of our t-shirts on, and he, you know, it was good. He really he was beside us, you know, all the way. We did some great filming and stuff with him, but it's still, when it comes down to it,
people then decide, oh, look, I won't do it, you know, and I hear plenty of excuses, mate. We've heard them all, you know, and so that was the hard bit for me. That was the thing where, I mean, I want to give that another crack and go on a tour again. I don't know whether Zane could put up with me, mate, because in that little caravan, that was fun, mate. And it lasted like, I've got it on the block at the moment, up at here at Dalesford.
Yeah. And
I've slept in it a few times at the block, mate, just sitting there with up there like Jackie, mate, with the because my daughter's painted my daughter Mahalia painted the faces and on the side of it, so it's still ready, mate. Listen, I tell you, I'd be off in a flash, mate. If we can I'd do it again for sure, because we thought we'd go up the East Coast and we can go up we just thought, because it was tiring, mate. Like, it was tiring. We got back. We were pretty tired, so it's. But it was such a great experience, mate. It was, you know, meeting all these people, and when they come up, and we had them write all over the caravan as well, and they had little. And I every now and then I go back and read some of the stuff, because we, you know, used a permanent marker there, and what some people said, you know, that I feel awesome. Just that kind of stuff. The people they've come out of their shell, mate, you know, and hopefully they're still, you know, that started something, because that's what it's about, mate. It's about igniting something, mate, getting a spark, you know?
It is, and it's sometimes all it takes. I was listening to David Goggins and Joe Rogan today. I think they filmed, recorded that earlier, but that was one of the things that even David Goggins was talking about. He's like, man, you know, I'm not just this amazing person that's out here, you know, doing everything. I'm not some bulletproof superhuman. He said, oh, I still get to my sneakers and stand there for half an hour, and, you know, and then they were saying, you know, it's not the 10,000th footstep that's the hardest. It's getting started and moving on, and something significant like that. And, you know, you're a good case for it, is that it's something significant like that can just be the kick or the start that somebody needs. And so, exactly right. You hope that awesome feeling follows through.
Yeah, and that's the thing. And like, you know, I hosted an ice bath at that Strawberry Fields event. You know, just 3 weeks ago, and the young people that came up to me, and it was just so great, and that energy there was beautiful, mate. And you know, one girl came up to me, and she had an issue with her wrists for years. She'd grown with this issue in her wrists, and when she got out the ice bath, she came up and said, "This is the only thing ever that's ever taken the pain away." And, you know, in both wrists, and she was so happy that now she's got something she can use that's going to help her, you know, and like, you know, and all this, and the breathing, these techniques that are so important, that we, you know, there's no drugs involved. We've got it within us. We have the ability within our bodies, and that's one thing that I'm trying to tell people, or to let them know, that, you know, we don't have to be Superman. We don't have to be Superman. We've got this within us. We have this within us. Wim's led the way. He's still leading the way. And just do it, mate. You know, just do it. Give it a go. Give it a go. Be accountable and just do it. You know?
Absolutely. Something that I've loved on your Instagram, you're getting pretty good at it, mate, is
Am I?
Yeah, when you're on the building site, I
love it, mate. Okay.
Showing people how to make a lunch. Now, in our household, we're quite lucky. Alex in myself, where I guess you'd call it health conscious or something like that. And we eat somewhere between, you know, keto or paleo or most of the time. And, you know, we had a paleo chocolate cake today, and I'm well aware that no paleo person was living in the same place that had coconuts, almonds, and cacao, and spent 3 days to ground them up, but still tasted good. What do you think? What do you think the key is from your perspective for food?
Well, like I say, mate, you can go to your local. You can go to local grocery in the morning. This is what I'm going to keep pushing this. Especially one of my passions, mate, is men's health. Okay, men, right, and especially because I've been on a building site for years, I see what they're eating, you know, and they're feeling, and the young ones, they've got these energy drinks. They roll up with the energy drinks, and they've got pie, sausage roll, or something from the local food store. Yeah, I won't name any names, but the thing is, it does nothing for you. We know that, and I've always been one, even when I was a lot younger, I was always into eating good food because I know it makes a big difference.
Mm.
And so my passion is to, and I'm going to keep pushing these cooking. I might keep pushing these little cooking things, mate, if you reckon it's worth it. But, because like I say, all the nutrients, I'm not a scientist, mate, right? I can tell you.
Yeah.
But like Wim says, it makes you feel good. You get in the ice bath, mate. You get out, it makes you feel good. You eat good food, it makes you feel good.
Yeah.
There's no brain fog. There's none, but the thing is, if I can show, I'll go, show these people, men again, say that it's not rocket science, mate, to make some good food and take it with you. We're talking about basic foods, mate, because usually, I'll tell you, I had yesterday, mate. I had sardines. I had a zucchini, and I had cauliflower, mate, and heaps of and butter. They're basic things, right? And it might look that good. I reckon it looks bloody beautiful, mate, right? But the thing is, it might look that good, and a bit of Himalayan rock salt on there. It tastes magnificent, beautiful, mate.
Yeah,
and so
but we're Australasia's all about the barbecue, and it's one of the best things you could have. Like, we don't actually have a physical barbecue here, but we've been eating barbecue mindset. So we've been getting some chicken or a patty or whatever, and a bit of veg and some salad, and you've got yourself a great meal. It's simple and
it doesn't cost. And mate, a lot of this other stuff is dearer, Ryan, like them buying some good, wholesome food. Don't go to the processed section in the supermarket, mate. Go to where the vegetables are.
Yeah.
And, go to that area.
Absolutely.
Get yourself some stuff. Huh?
Yeah, and then like you started off with the energy drink, at $5 for a massive one, and you be in the service station in the morning and you see some apprentice or tradie come in and they've bought themselves a $30 pack of ciggies, two energy drinks, 2 Cokes and a pie, and they wonder why they feel crap. And
mate, I tell you something, Ryan. I'm 53, mate. When I was 25, I was jumping out my skin, mate.
Yeah.
And I don't understand why and that's what I'm concerned about, is young people, right, having the need for these energy drinks, mate.
Yeah.
It really concerns me because, and I'm not going to be an alarmist, but it does concern me why someone needs like that in the morning to have some to be ready for the day, mate. So get in an ice bath, mate. Give the energy drink the ass.
Yeah.
Hey?
Change your perspective. Speaking of changing perspective and also sardines, you just went to Sardinia, mate. How much?
Yeah.
What do you reckon on Blue Zones, mate? You touched on it when you did a Facebook Live, but something about the culture. That I see you got some bottles of wine behind you, but all that.
No, I'm not a drinker actually. I don't really. My wife and my kids have a little. Every now and then they might have a wine or whatever. But I've never been. I think I've got immature taste buds, mate.
Hey, you eating sardines? That's a pretty mature taste.
Yeah, sardines. Yeah. But I stick to my plain mineral water with a dash of apple cider vinegar in it, mate. I love it. That's my go-to, mate.
Right.
But with Sardinia, what I really loved about Sardinia was when we spoke to some centenarians, and we sat down, we spoke to them, and the most important thing, and we spoke to 2 men. I think there was Gino, who was in his 90s, and I can't remember the other fellow's name. We just stopped and I saw this old fellow in the garden, and went up and just started talking to him. Obviously, we had an interpreter with us, but they loved their wife, mate. Love was the most important thing. They all loved their wife, mate.
Yeah.
They just that was number one, right? That was so that was really important for me. I mean, I've been married now happily for 28 years, mate. Fantastic. Still going strong, but that's what they all said. That was the most important thing, was the love for the wife. They didn't have a word for stress. Yeah. They don't know, they didn't have a word for stress. There was no kind of, and they said these blokes are still working too, mate. So stress is a part of the job. You might have a hard job for the day, but they don't have a word for it. So, and they keep working. So in our society, which is a part of the strength, happiness, health, the rest is bullshit. The society bit's are bullshit, mate. This bit, why do you have to retire at 75? You need purpose, mate. Mm. People retire unless they're not doing something else, they need purpose. So we've got love your wife, hard, mate, right?
Yeah.
What was the other thing I said? No stress. Yeah, stress doesn't exist. And have purpose, mate.
Yeah.
And do what you love doing, mate. And that was one thing, that dawned on me a while ago. Like, I had been in the building trade for quite a long time, and I'd lost my kind of, every day, weekends over, Monday morning, I'm not happy again. It's Monday. You don't want to live life like that. You want to just love every minute of it, mate. We just got to make the most of it. So in Sardinia, they were just, and it's basic stuff, like this. They were back to basics, and the thing is, I think that unfortunately, like in those areas, those deep in those blue zones, the children of these centenarians, they've gone to mainland Italy because, for work or whatever. This is the hard thing, because I don't know how long these blue zones will last. You know what I mean? Because of that, the way life's changed so much.
Yeah, and I think Okinawa's gone from the biggest life expectancy to pretty fast as well, and that's even within the city. You spoke there about having a purpose and the bullshit, and one of the traps we fall into, and that we get to retire at 65, so I'll put up with this crap till I'm 65, and
yes,
and then it'll be great, and
it's miserable, mate.
Yeah.
No, it is so, mate. Yeah, and that's one thing. Sorry, Ryan, but the thing is, when I speak to men, that are my age, and we talk about stuff, and I just said, well, have a try. If you're not happy with what you're doing, because what you don't want to do is just stay at it because you feel like, you have to, or I mean, I'm really lucky that I've got such a supportive family behind me that have been enabled me to do this, but you just got to. People have to start listening to what their heart and their gut, their heart's saying. What makes them truly happy, And the thing for me was, and it started when I came back from that Wim Hof retreat, was that I was looking for something, mate, and and it kind of really opened up for me that's what it was, and I've just thought, well, I'm just going to do this. And action. You got to act on stuff, And sometimes I still procrastinate on stuff, for sure. But I think the purpose part, that's really important. And I'm talking from a man's point of view, to keep love what you're doing, mate. Love it.
Mm.
Yeah.
And speaking of keeping on doing things you love, you and Zane and another one of our other favourite guests and one of my other favourite people on Instagram, Kai Whanu, hosted an event of late. How did you guys meet up with Kai, and what was it like having her on board? Because
Kai's great. She's a cracker.
Yeah.
Isn't she? She's a cracker, mate. That was good. We had a wonderful time. We had I think 50 people. That was a great. That's it, mate. That was a powerful breathing session too, mate. When you have 50 people all joining, and we had, Asher Pac-Man. Do you know Asher?
No.
We did. We did.
Actually, after that, I did start following Asher, so I've just been through you guys.
Used to him. Yeah. He's a great fella. And so, we had some heart math and meditation. We did that first, and then Kai spoke about facing fear. And all what she's unreal what she does, mate. Like all that. Yeah, no, she's great. Love her. And so it was a great day, mate. It was a great day.
Yeah. And building up to that, you guys go back to being playful and finding your inner child. How does that?
Yep, inner child.
How does that sort of content come up? And I know Kai's a great one for a laugh and acting like a child and exploring. What do you think allows you and allows Zane and allows Kai to let go of this mask and find your inner child? What for you, especially, speak for yourself. What allows you to find that inner child?
What allows me to find it? Well, because I just think what allows me to find my inner child. I just think that life's too short. Just have fun, mate. Just have fun. No, it is. It's just have fun, and never think you're too old to give something a go. Just go and do it. It's I don't know. Play loud music, mate. Like get stuck into it, mate. Just don't care what people think about you. That's the most important thing. Don't care. Do not care. Just if you feel like doing that and you're not harming anyone, give it a go, mate. Do it. Sing. Like, be happy. But it's easy, like, strength, happiness and health, mate. That's what it's about. It's about finding what makes you happy and do it.
Lovely.
Do it.
Awesome, mate.
Do it.
So you mentioned that you've dabbled now in the social media realm, and I'll link your page and Chilseekers page.
Good.
What Facebook handle should people look you up on?
Now, when you say what do you mean? What Facebook handle? They probably should look up Mark.
Oh, we might have lost you.
The handle, is it?
Sorry,
I've got you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is me. This is New South Wales internet for us. Yeah. So yeah, Mark Kluwer, did you say?
Yeah. MARK KLUWER. That's the Facebook, and Instagram's the same. Mark Kluwer.
Yeah. Is
the Instagram. Yeah.
Lovely.
Is my Instagram. But just watch this space, mate. I can tell you, because we're going to do some special stuff up here in Hepburn.
Yeah.
Up at Elevated Plains. That's where I've been building this shed, first structure. And I want to do some special stuff up there, mate. We have some good time on it. Plenty of people over. We'll experience some cold immersion, doing some other great things. And that's what I'm starting to, build now. Watch this space, mate, basically. And strength, happiness and health, mate, and I think vulnerability, mate. One of the most important things I think, inner child stuff is being vulnerable like a child.
Yeah,
because that's where you get the strength through vulnerability, mate. That's when people get to know who you really are. That's when you're vulnerable with people, when a group of people, when you show what you really like, you strip it all back. That's when the growth happens, mate. And that's when we connect. And that's what I love. I love connecting with people. That's my focus. And that's why I love this Wim Hof thing. And the Wim Hof method, it's so good for you, but it's a connection, and I meet all these beautiful people, mate. And that makes me happy. Makes me really happy, mate, I tell you. You make me cry in a minute, mate. But that's what I feel like.
Beautiful.
It's just a connection with people. Well, look, I met you, Ryan, as well. Like all these people, it's just connection.
No, it's pretty exciting, and I think it's a pretty good time to, if if you haven't met Mark before, or if you haven't been following Mark already, now's a big thing, because he told me a little bit about what's to come, and I'm excited to keep watching because it's going to be awesome, mate.
Yeah, keep watching, mate.
apart from the sort of Wim Hof philosophy, do you have anything that you'd like to leave people with, or something that you keep turning back to live your life by, or better yet, do you have any questions of anybody, something that you'd like to know? And you probably don't, because you just said don't worry about what other people think.
Yeah. Look, I still have fears now, mate. I have fear. I think you just need to, like, if you have a fear, you got to come from the love, mate. And you're like, if you have, because most fear-based stuff, we're coming from fear. When you come from love, you can't go wrong, mate. And this is what the whole thing it's about. Am I fearing here? Am I coming from love? And that's what's really important in life. And I think that when you recognise that and you actually feel that that's what's happening, there's a huge change. There's changes come, mate. And it might be just little things. It only needs to be a little thing. And then we grow into a snowball, mate. And I think we just need to see what makes us happy. Is it driving? Is it aspiring to have the Porsche? I don't think that's my. It's not my opinion. That's not going to make us happy. Making us happy is the nice things in life, mate. Going to walk in nature, sit in nature, the kookaburras. I've got kookaburras up there, mate. They're huge, mate. These kookaburras, you got to watch it because they'll eat the paleo sausages off the barbecue, mate. And eagles, I've got these big wedge-tailed eagles. They just circle. They're beautiful things. And nature, and just look around and just stop for a minute and take a deep breath and just pull in, let it go. Pull in, let it go. That's what you need to do. Pull in, let it go.
It's the perfect Wim Hof impression.
That's it. Pull in, let it go. That's what it is. And that's what it's about. Take it all in around us. Take it in, mate. That's the best stuff. That's all I can say is that take a step back. And if you're feeling sometimes, a bit anxious, remember, fully in. Just take a deep breath in and just sigh and just, you'll just recalibrate your system and then it's good. It seems basic, but I think that's what I think we're over complicating things. Let's decomplicate, mate.
Absolutely. Mate,
Decomplicate.
And I hope this is why I've been able to show why I love your channel so much and why I think you're an awesome guy and what you do.
Thank you. Likewise, mate. Thank you.
And I look forward to seeing where Mark Kluwer goes and have to come down to Victoria sometime up there and see these gigantic kookaburras and hear them laugh.
That's right, mate. We got wombats down here, mate, the size of cement trucks, mate. But it'll be great to have you, mate. And great, mate. And what's your partner's name there, mate? What's her name?
That's Alex, and we've got little Billy. I'm sure she'll jump in.
Alex and Billy. Oh, great! Is that your first? Is that your first child, Billy?
Yeah, first daughter. So we're 9 months in, and we're
beautiful.
We're crazy. We came to Australia and decided to leave family behind, which was probably not the wisest thing, but at the same time, we've been lucky enough to live over the road from the beach and explore your beautiful country. So.
Yeah, great. Good on you.
As I said to you the other day, no easy roads to purpose or something like that.
That's right. I tell you what, just before we go, mate, exactly, mate. Exactly. No easy roads to purpose, mate. That's exactly right. Josh, have you heard of Josh Coman?
No.
Josh is a fellow countryman of yours.
Yeah.
He's just at the moment. I think he has his first book out in February.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's called The Wind at My Back, and he would be someone worth you speaking to about his journey. And I met him at Wim Hof on the first morning at Wim Hof. He was one of the top athletes, 800-meter runners in New Zealand.
Yep.
And then he was struck down with cancer.
Mm-hmm.
And then I went into remission, and then it came back.
Oh dear.
And then he had an immune transplant, and the journey that he's gone through is huge. And he's written a book about it, so I can give you his details. Josh Coman, he's a legend, mate.
That'll be it.
He's really worth talking to him.
And I'm sure plenty of people that listen to this will be keen on reading a book like that.
Follow Josh Coman, yeah.
Being a story, fantastic, mate.
Yeah.
Right, I'll grab that off here. Cheers, brother.
Good on you, mate.